ユナイテッドエンパイア。今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるんですよ。みんな、ブローキンテーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. This is episode number 91 with your AEW Rampage review. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here with our co-host, as always, King Rome. How you doing tonight, sir?
You know, all things considered, doing pretty damn good. You know, played some Warzone 2.0 today, got my first dub. That was fun. Pokemon, been playing Pokemon. That's really good, actually, despite its performance issues. And then we're going to an AEW pay-per-view tomorrow. So, I mean, doing pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. Welcome, everybody who is watching over on YouTube. We got Coach Nick in the chat already. Let's go. What's up, Coach? How you doing tonight, sir? And welcome to everybody that will be listening later on Spotify or Amazon or Apple Podcasts. Thank you guys very much.
Isn't this our YouTube exclusive show, Jeff?
Oh, wait, you are correct. Damn, dude, thank you. This is the YouTube exclusive Rampage show. Thank you for correcting me, Ron.
You know what, Jeff? I have a bone to pick, right? Because here's the thing. I think you pick interesting fellows to be a mark for, right? And I'm not going in the direction you think I'm going. You know, Dr. Disrespect, right? That's your guy, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to spoil a part of my Modern Warfare 2 review for Monday. This man on Twitter, he deleted the tweet because it's probably like, it's pretty egregious. This man, he gave Warzone 2.0, in his opinion, a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
I think that's the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. And this is coming from somebody who hated the first Warzone.
You have to understand that he is a game developer, and in its current state, I would give it close to that as well.
Hold on. Respectfully. The man's not a game developer. He's not.
Yes, he is. He owns a game studio, and he's developing a game.
Sure. I've been watching Dr. Disrespect since I was like 12. This man is a content creator, a streamer, used to be a machinima maker. He is not a game developer. He may own a game developer studio. Does not make him a game developer.
You know, he made half the maps for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, right?
Designing maps doesn't make you a game developer. It doesn't make you a game developer.
He was okay. That's fine.
Does he know coding? Does he know coding? Does he know, art? Does he write stories? Like,
yes,
okay, he does
it all. He's actually
maps.
broken down. He's built maps on his stream before.
That doesn't make you a game designer. Like, I could make a Call of Duty map. That doesn't make me a game designer. I used to create parks in the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. I used to make my own skate parks. Does that make me a game developer? No, it doesn't.
Okay, I get what you're saying, so that's fine. But in its current state, the looting is horrible. The looting is absolutely horrible. How do you make a party? Me and you can't even play a game together. Can we even play? We can't even play together, and it's cross-platform. How is that a good game in your eyes right now? We can't even play together because you're on Xbox and I'm on PlayStation.
Look, man, I'm going to talk about that type of stuff in my review.
Okay,
so if you're asking me, specifically Warzone 2 is not a 6. You're out of your goddamn mind. You're out of your goddamn ever-loving fucking mind.
Coach gives it a solid 8.5. I actually think that's being generous. The highest I would go is an 8 right now. Until they fix a few things, and there's only a few things, and if they fix them, I would actually give this a
Let's
10.
not go too far into this because that's going to be talked about on Monday.
Yeah.
What
All right, you can get back up into your chair now, sir.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if it's worth it. I might do the show from down here. I really might. I'm considering it.
All right. Well, let's get into the AEW Rampage review. We started off tonight with Lance Archer and Ricky Starks. We started this off backstage with Lance Archer already kicking Ricky Starks' ass up against the garage door the same way he was last on Dynamite, which delayed all of these matches that we've got going on here. This is really good storytelling that they have been doing with Ricky Starks here. I am absolutely enjoying this Ricky Starks stuff right now. They almost made me think that this match wasn't going to happen. They've been talking about real, shoot injuries for Ricky Starks, pushing these matches back. Yeah, it's just a big white. It's just a big white. You're gonna have to angle it, send help, and hook. Yeah.
Ugh. Oh yeah, man. The lighting here
So
needs to be fixed. Anyways,
this storytelling here is incredible. I didn't even think the match was gonna happen at the moment where he was slamming him into the garage again, but they battle their way down to the ring. We finally get these guys into the ring. They start the match. We get a huge choke slam onto the apron, and Rome, I look it up every time because the memory is the first thing that goes. It's the hardest part of the ring, man.
Yes.
And Ricky, the storytelling in this, I keep saying it, I sound like a broken record, but all these injuries with Ricky Starks in the past and what they've been doing in the storylines with it, this is incredible. I thought this entire match was fantastically done by both guys.
Yeah, I mean, I really love backstage brawls. So them starting with it, which we knew they were going to, because Ricky said on Wednesday that he was going to find Archer before the match, and they were going to start back there. More backstage brawls, please, Tony Khan. I really enjoyed that. I thought this match was fantastic. Like you said, Ricky
Yes.
Starks picks up the win in a smart way that continues to make Archer look strong.
Dude, the way he dove over Lance Archer when he went to do that spear was so smooth. It almost looked like Archer actually hit him, but he didn't. He just did like a perfect front flip over him. It was incredible.
Yeah, man. Ricky Starks is just a phenomenal talent, just amazing worker. And this is no different. I mean, Lance Archer is phenomenal as well. So my big thing here is love the match, loved everything about it, love that Ricky's moving forward in the tournament. I feel like there's a bit of a missed opportunity here. Obviously Ricky's injury was real. So they had to push back the tournament. I really feel strongly that the right thing to have done, and like I don't want to have to say this to double book them, but I would have had Ricky wrestle 2 matches tomorrow. I think that would have just been a really great way to get Ricky over. You could tell the story, because here's the thing: you already kind of set it up tonight, where Archer chokeslams him post match onto the steel steps while they're sideways, and completely messed up Ricky. So I think it would make a lot more sense to just have Ricky go out there tomorrow, wrestle Brian Cage on the 0 hour, beat Brian Cage, but still be a wreck, and then have to face Ethan Page later in the night, having him overcome obstacle after obstacle, wrestling 3 matches in 24 hours, I think would have been the right thing to do. And them not doing that, while it's fine, I feel like it's a big missed opportunity to really like cement Ricky Starks as like a guy, if not the guy.
So I'm glad you mentioned exactly what you just said. I'm so glad you said that. I actually believe that it is going to happen. I think something at the pay-per-view, Ricky's gonna like, we're not doing this Wednesday. He's like, I'm ready for you now. Something like that's gonna happen. I think we're gonna get both matches tomorrow.
So I was kind of thinking that too. I was going to say this, that I do think it's very interesting that there's only 2 matches announced for the 0 hour the day before the pay-per-view. I highly doubt, even with the one being a 10-man tag, I can't see 2 matches going a whole hour. I just don't see that happening.
No, I don't think it'll be right on 0 hour though. I think that'll be part of the main card. I think I don't know. I see like Ethan Page cutting a promo like this is bullcrap. I was supposed to face my opponent tonight. He should have to face me tonight. And then Ricky Starks stumbles out and says, "Fine, let's do it." You know.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that they do that. They didn't show anything for next week's Dynamite, so I mean they still could. I definitely think that's a possibility, and I really hope they go that way.
Yeah, me too. All right, next up was a. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a second. We got to finish this off. So after Ricky Starks gets the pin there, the 1, 2, 3. We had Prince Nana and Brian Cage start to come out. So Ricky Starks goes to meet them ringside, but Lance Archer attacks from behind and choke slams Ricky Starks onto the steps, furthering the whole, Ricky's going to be all beat up and injured going into the pay-per-view. I'm really enjoying this. Just like I said, I'm a broken record tonight. The storyline on this was, the storytelling was amazing.
Jeff, get your mouse off the screen. What are you doing?
My mouse is on the screen.
Your mouse is moving all over my face right now. Well, 5 seconds ago. All right, there we go.
Should have that set to where you can't see it. Okay. All right. So after that, we have a nice video package for MJF and Jon Moxley. Moxley basically says that he sets the standard. MJF says, the blood, sweat, and tears are all going to be worth it if he finally wins this championship. I can't wait for this match tomorrow, man. I'm so happy that we're going to be there for this.
Yeah, I just saw Coach, I forgot to add you on Call of Duty. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at the chat. I'm like, oh, he said that like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I keep forgetting. It's because it's like it's a different ID with Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, it's weird right now. I can't like look at my friends list and I don't have a way to add friend. I don't get it. Yeah. All right. After that, we had Tony Schiavone, Sammy Guevara, and Chris Jericho backstage doing a quick promo. Jericho says he is the greatest Ring of Honor champion of all time. And he says, me and Sammy are going to see to it that I stay that way. And Jericho walks off. Sammy kind of, he gives that weird little, I don't know, and says, we'll see about that. So, yeah, I have a feeling some stuff's going to go down in the JAS here, huh?
Yeah, they're really seeming like they're teasing Sammy winning the Ring of Honor title, and I don't think he's going to, but it's like, man, that's dicey. I don't know if they do. I don't know if that's the right call there, which is why I don't think they're going to do it, but I mean, we'll see. They could. That's the way they're kind of setting it up, at least to me. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, I guess we'll have to see. But it's going to be a great match regardless. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, what I was thinking is maybe Jericho brings the bat into the match and he swings it at somebody but misses and hits Sammy. Sammy's going to collapse onto whoever else is on the oh wait, that wouldn't make any sense because there's not another person. I was thinking like Sammy would fall on somebody to pin them, you know what I mean? But, well, you could have like Claudio or somebody already knocked out, swing it at Danielson, miss, hit Sammy. Sammy collapses onto Claudio, gets the pin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see. I was just kind of like brainstorming today, like which way they would go with this match, but they could go a bunch of different ways. I could see Danielson winning this. I could see Claudio getting his belt back. Like, this is what's so awesome about, Tony Khan's booking sometimes is a lot of times you just have no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Perfectly on cue, Tony. So let's fucking go. All right. So, yep. After that, we had the FTW Championship. Dude, this match was great. We had Hook come out to a huge pop from the crowd. Hook versus Lee Moriarty with Stokely Hathaway at ringside. This was a absolutely great showing of technical wrestling skills by Hook and Lee Moriarty. I knew Hook had it in him because he's got a lot of the judo skills and it looks like some jiu-jitsu skills and stuff. But this was one of the first times we got to see him, with a nice chain wrestling couple of minutes with someone else who can, match him and stuff like that. This was really, really nice.
Yeah, Coach in the chat saying whatever is on right now on TNT, all these promos, video packages, they are amazing. Yeah, so Coach, that's the pay-per-view countdown show. They usually do that after Rampage before every single pay-per-view, and they are very, very good promo packages. But yeah, I thought that this was a great match from Hook and from Lee Moriarty. Seeing Hook, I feel like we're just running Hook through these paces now. This really felt like Hook's first real match. It went a decent amount of time. Hook was selling. He wasn't just kind of on the offense side of everything. And yeah, I mean, just obviously he's got that judo stuff and all that, but you know his dad is, so you know that he has to have that wrestling pedigree. But yeah, I mean, it's just I thought it was a really awesome matchup. It was a very unique matchup, and I'm really excited to see more of this from Hook. He's established now, so let him start having these matches and start having these feuds. Juhas was upset that we probably won't see Hook tomorrow since he wrestled tonight. But I mean, I thought it was all around an awesome match.
Yep, I completely agree. So Hook retains his FTW championship. He gets put into the Motor City stretch for a moment by Lee Moriarty, and he reverses it right into a red rum, puts Moriarty to sleep, and gets the win. The jiu-jitsu skills, you could definitely see it in that reversal there. The way that he reversed that Motor City stretch into the red rum, that was like, it looked like it was real jiu-jitsu he was doing in there for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, Hook is just extremely talented, and just watching him go in the ring, I mean, he really kind of brings a little bit of everything to his style, which is just really
I
great.
completely agree. All right, next up, we had a promo backstage with the Dark Order and Roosh with Jose, the assistant. I told you, man, I've been seeing this for a while, and, Johnny says, we'll take you guys on. And 10 looks at Johnny and it's like, what do you mean we? And turns around and walks off. What do you think's going on here?
I think Preston Vance is just the embodiment of how I feel about the Dark Order. John Silver's just there trying to be a geek, and it's just like, bro, it's like watching the segment tonight. I mean, obviously the whole point is Preston Vance. 10, he's frustrated. He lost his title shot or his title opportunity because Silver cost Roosh, so he inadvertently cost 10. I thought that there was something weirdly poetic about this segment in a sense that John Silver was the only one there. I mean, obviously 10's there, but like take 10 out of the equation. And it's just Silver being a goofball. And it's like read the room. Read the fucking room, man. Like the Dark Order's gone. It's not there, and you're trying to act like it is. It's just like, man, maybe you just gotta let it die. And that's how I took it. And obviously, this is just like a throwaway segment. It's more about 10, but like I just saw a lot of irony in the way John Silver was acting, like a typical John, like as if like there's like 10 people standing behind him and he's cracking jokes, and it's like, bro, it's not funny anymore. Like the Dark Order sucks. Like, stop.
Yeah, it's definitely, you pointed it out there. John Silver was basically left by himself at the end there. So
there was no Uno, there was no Reynolds, and everyone else is already gone. It's just,
yeah, we shall see. All right, next up we had Athena versus Madison Rayne. Athena is very good in this new heel character of hers. If you've been watching Dark, which I know you have, and Elevation, she's just been running through a bunch of these jobber girls, just destroying these girls. Madison Rayne, I think someone said it in chat, I think it was Miaja, that ever since Madison Rayne showed up, I don't know if it's a coincidence or if it just kind of coincides, but since she showed up, the women's division, man, we've been saying it for weeks now, it has stepped up so much. This women's division is incredible right now. They've stepped their game up like 5-6 notches, and they're just on fire.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. Man, this Athena character shift has just been fucking phenomenal. I mean, just her destroying, like you said, all the talent on Dark and Elevation. It's just been crazy. And then her coming out tonight and just destroying Madison Rayne. Obviously, Madison's promo was a little mistimed, so we didn't see like her start off the match by sneak attacking Madison Rayne. That's something I need to see the production side be a little bit better on. They've been kind of slipping up a little bit the last few weeks. Try to tighten that up a little bit. I know that they lost someone on the team who passed away, so not going to be super anal about it right now, but Like, let's try and
So-
tighten that up, guys.
I'm actually
but
going to blame, real quick, I want to blame that on Athena, though, because the video package is playing on the screen
Oh,
for them
yeah.
as well, and she
That's fair.
attacked before it was over.
Yeah, you're right. I'll
So,
actually take it
kind of
back.
want to give that blame on her.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that one back. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I wasn't thinking about that. But so I loved it. I thought it was great. And post match, so obviously Athena runs through Madison Rain, not much of a competition, relatively destroys her relatively quickly. After the bell, Athena starts attacking Madison again. Ref Aubrey Edwards tries to go in, and Athena decks Aubrey Edwards. And
How you doing, Jeff?
I was doing great tonight until I saw Aubrey lying on the mat. I was
So
devastated.
there's something special about Aubrey Edwards. I mean, we've talked about it a few times, and I get it. People would say, "Oh, she's the girl ref." Like, no, she's just got a distinctive something about her that's just very memorable. That you just like, she's like the referee for like a lot of the big matches for AEW, and so like, she hasn't really been in that situation before. And when Athena turns around and decks Aubrey Edwards, man, the crowd blows up, and I also. Like, I stood up and
Yeah.
shouted, "Holy shit," in my house. Like, I was, like, legit, like, it was a complete pop, like, heat. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, my God. Like, I just shouted, "Holy shit." I could not believe that Aubrey Edwards got laid out. And Athena, I mean, very easily, move over Jade and move over Britt. I guess Britt, I mean, again, we talked about Britt. Her promo last week was very babyface-ish. But man, like Athena really like cemented herself for me as like top heel in the division right now. I mean, that was pretty fucking crazy. That was incredible. And you could see
it
the
was great.
crowd. Like, I would recommend like just going back and watching the crowd, the way they physically react to the hit, not just the verbal, because verbal pops happen, but like watch the people, because I actually watched it again on Twitter afterwards during the next commercial, and like people are like standing up, they're going like this, like people are freaking out. And
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this has never happened before. I don't think I've ever seen Aubrey take an intentional like hit.
Yeah, no, that's what I had said earlier. And that's the thing, don't go to the well too often. Knocking out referees should not be a thing you do very often. And that really heightens it. It like, there's not many times when wrestlers have struck referees legitimately. I mean, obviously it does happen, but I don't recall Aubrey ever taking a bump like that.
No.
So this was insane and extremely well done. And my hat's off to just whoever made this decision. I mean, all it took was a little bit of like the Fed fans on Twitter saying Athena's not a safe worker, and now we have this, and I'm just like, this is fucking incredible.
Oh, she's amazing. The wings, that she comes out with, all the different sets of wings she's had, just her outfits are great. Her look, just everything about Athena is just a 10 out of 10 right now. Love it.
You know what, and like I'm going to talk about it a little bit more when we get into the pay-per-view prediction. I have a crazy prediction that, like, if you think the women's division's been good, I just have a feeling in my gut, strap the fuck in, because I think it's about to get better.
Oh, absolutely.
And we'll talk about it during the pay-per-view prediction part of the show,
Yep,
which is
I know
coming
exactly
up
where
following
you're
our
going.
Rampage recap.
All right, so as Athena stands in the ring, looked like she's going to go after Madison Rain some more, and possibly Aubrey. We get the return of Mercedes Martinez. I'm gonna be honest, I completely had forgotten about her. I didn't even know she was injured. They announced her as the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, but she didn't have the belt. I was very confused. Like, I was where's her belt? Did she drop it on the way to the ring and I missed it, maybe?
Well, I mean, you just argue that she was rushing out to help.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Jade doesn't have her belt right now, you know what I mean? So
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
bank on it. Oh, what up, reality creator?
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Stick around.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so Mercedes Martinez runs Athena off, and that's the end of that. Next up, we had a really one of my favorite segments. Anytime the best friends and Orange Cassidy are involved in a segment, it just gets a thumbs up. You know what I mean? So we got the best friends in the factory backstage with Renee Paquette. Orange Cassidy basically says, "Look, we want a 5-on-5 with you guys. Let's do it." And they're like, "But there's only 3 of you." And Rocky Romero appears out of nowhere, and they're like, "Whoa, where the hell did that guy come from?" And they said, or who was it? Chucky T hands a VHS tape from the 1980s to Renee Paquette, expecting her to shove it into a VCR somewhere. And she's like, "What do you expect me to do with this, man?" And
Trent's like, "I emailed
luckily,
it."
yeah,
Trent's like, "I
luckily
emailed
Trent emailed it, so they did have it ready to go. And we get a really cool video package of obviously Danhausen with jar of teeth and a handful of teeth. I'm glad
So-
they're letting him do his gimmick from the Indies. I can't wait to see this. This is going to be excellent.
So Jeff, I sent you an image on Discord. I DM'd it to you. If you can put it on screen. Chuck Taylor tweeted this out. It is a picture of the VHS tape that he gave to Renee. If you could put it up, I found it hilarious.
Give me one moment here.
Sure. But so during this video, it does really seem like it's Danhausen in the videotape. You see him, you see the teeth, and it is just hilarious. And the factory reacts accordingly, where they're basically like, "Well, it's obviously Danhausen. Whatever, he sucks. Awesome." Okay, Jeff wants me to send it to his other
Yeah.
Discord.
That's the one that's on the computer. The other one's on my phone.
Oh, okay. Hold on. There you go. So yeah, I just thought this was great, and it sets up for a 10-man tag. Really happy that we're getting Orange Cassidy on the card, and yeah, it's going to be a really fun match. And this match does get announced for the 0 hour part of the show, which they also don't outright say that Danhausen's on the card, which I'll talk to you about that when we do the pay-per-view preview itself.
It says Dustin's 9th birthday
That's
crossed out, and then it says spooky movie.
Yeah, they taped over Dustin's 9th birthday to do this video, and that just makes it all the better.
That's awesome. So you're a much bigger Best Friends fan than me. Who's Dustin?
I believe Dustin is Chuck.
Oh, okay. That would make perfect
hold on.
sense.
Well,
That makes perfect sense, you know.
I know Trent is Greg.
Trent's Greg.
Yeah, that's his real name. His real name's Greg. Yeah, Chuck Taylor is Dustin. So
Okay.
Trent is Greg, and Chuck
So they
Taylor.
Danhausen taped over his 9th birthday. Oh my goodness.
Could you imagine Chuck being like, Danhausen giving Chuck the tape, and Chuck looks at it, he's like, "Bro, it's my 9th birthday party. You taped over my 9th birthday party."
Oh wow, that's great.
Oh man.
All right, so they did say we're getting that match at the pay-per-view, right?
It's in the 0 hour, yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, next up we had an absolutely incredible video package for the return of the House of Black. This essentially showed everybody in the House of Black training for their return. They were all beating the crap out of a bunch of random trainees. I was kind of hoping that they were going to be like House of Black members, you know what I mean? Like kind of in the background behind them. They maybe could still do that, but it just felt like training partners at the end of the video to me.
Well, something to take note of is during the video, there are members standing around the House of Black with masks on. They're still like kind of like the old, what's the word? Druids with these masks on, and they don't appear to be the same people that were getting beat up in the video package. So some people are kind of speculating, could there be more members of the House of Black coming? One of them was like really short, so some people think one of them might be Layla Gray. I don't know about, or Layla Hirsch. I don't know about that necessarily, but like one of them had like red hair and like it was long, so it looked like a female.
Okay.
I don't know. There's just people that are kind of talking about that. I would expect to see the House of Black tomorrow night. That's what I expect.
If you saw long red hair, please be Kylan King. Oh my God.
Somebody on Twitter actually said that. Somebody suggested that it might be Kylan. So that was
my
actually
only thing is we haven't really seen her since Cody left, and she's part of Cody's
No, she
factory.
was here when she faced Britt on Dynamite. She had
Okay.
that match with Britt Baker on
I think you're
Dynamite
right. Yep.
during the summer, probably June or July it happened. It was leading up for the Owen, if I recall.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're right. You're right.
But yeah, I mean, this was just a really cool segment. People at the Prudential Center tonight, because Rampage was out of the Prudential Center, which is in Newark, which is where we will be tomorrow night. Reportedly, House of Black segment super fucking over live. Like a lot, like
Really?
the crowd was extremely into it. As am I. Like, look, like we've talked about it before, and we're probably it'll be talked about for a while probably. They want to go to WWE. That's fine. I understand. I can sympathize. They have significant others who are probably pressuring them because Triple H is pressuring the significant others. I mean, he went out and signed Keith Lee's wife the other day. Not that Mia Yim is not talented. I'm not trying to suggest that, but you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't put it past Triple Paul to do something like that. I mean, this man's fucking contract tampering, for fuck's sake. What makes you think he's not going to hire free agent wives? I mean, Chelsea Green's being brought in, which means Matt Cardona's probably going to get brought back. But, you know, it's like, I'm willing to let it go and let it be like, okay, I understand you want to be there, but you're here now. You know, do what you need to do. Don't be like Andrade. And that's fine. And I can sit here and I can enjoy the House of Black for the next 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is. And when it's time for them to go, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm just asking that you honor your commitments. I think that that's a fair thing to do.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
I'm very excited for the House of Black to come back. They are extremely talented and just super, super fucking creative, and just love the stories that they tell. Specifically Malachi, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and next up was time for the main event. And, you know, I kept saying I was a broken record earlier, but man, I'm going to be saying it again. The storytelling here was incredible. The entire story of this match from beginning to end was that this was Eddie Kingston's dream match to face Jun Akiyama, and Takeshita wouldn't let it happen. The entire match, Takeshita kept on tagging him out. He kept stopping the hot tags from happening to get Eddie in to face Akiyama. This was just incredible, the way that they told this story of, you know, Eddie was staring at Akiyama the entire match. You know, like no matter what he was doing, he just couldn't take his eyes off of him. At one point when Eddie was in, but it was with Takeshita, he just ran over and he had to hit him. You know, he just had to make contact with him real quick, you know, and this was just incredible. You know what I mean? Like I love the storytelling tonight. It was fantastic.
Yeah, just good in-ring storytelling, and it's what I like to see. And like you said, we saw it tonight, especially in the main event too. Thought this was a great match, hard hitting, a lot of fun. They went a few minutes over, which is always really cool to see, especially for this kind of match. And honestly, little surprised that, and pleasantly surprised that Takeshita and Akiyama pick up the win here. I mean, obviously Ortiz eats the pin, but I mean, yeah, I was super, super thrilled to see them pick up the win in a main event of a live AEW television show.
Yeah, you know, that suplex or whatever that was that he put on Ortiz, it looked like some sort of a brainbuster suplex type thing, but that was nasty. Akiyama picks up the 1-2-3. That was excellent and an amazing match. Takeshita worked almost the entire match. Like I said, he was stopping Eddie from getting that hot tag. Oh, we got the Coog in chat says, looks like we're getting June versus Eddie tomorrow night at Full Gear. That is absolutely possible. So, you know,
Seeming
did they announce
likely.
that?
So I was about to mention that the Coog did in fact say that. What up, the Coog? It looks like people who were live at the Prudential Center are saying that after Rampage went off the air, Eddie was yelling for Tony Khan to give him June tomorrow 1-on-1. Tony says it's on for 0 hour.
Yeah, there's the third match.
There's a
Let's
third match. So
go.
I would expect there to be one more added, but I mean that's all in all, that's excellent.
DDT Japan has great talent. This partnership with AEW, with Tokyo Joshi Pro and AAA in Mexico, is what draws you to AEW. Hey man, that's what draws a lot of people. The talent is amazing all over the world, and to finally have a place where everyone around the world can get together and showcase their talents is amazing. It's what I love about AEW as well.
Yeah, I mean, just that, the Forbidden Door. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse and mention the Forbidden Door, but the Forbidden Door is a thing, and it's just really awesome. I love pro wrestling. And we've talked about on the show before, Jeff. I think I actually am like a huge fan of Joshi wrestling. Just these
Yeah.
Japanese women's wrestlers are just fucking incredible. Whenever they show up in AEW or I see a clip online, they're just fucking amazing. And as somebody who doesn't have a lot of time to coincide with his love of pro wrestling, I really only have time to watch AEW, or at least one promotion, so I choose AEW. It's awesome to see these guys come in, so I still get to see that experience, and yeah, I mean, it's just something. It's special, man. AEW's got a little something for everybody, and you saw it tonight. It's great. It's just excellent.
I love it, man. We've both been watching since day one. I've never even considered being like, I don't think I want to watch tonight. I've never even considered thinking that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was talking to someone yesterday about it, and they were like, "Have you ever even missed an episode of AEW?" And I told them I missed one Dynamite once, and it was because I had to work that night. I was working mostly day shifts, or if I had to work nights, I would kind of move it around so I didn't miss AEW. There was one Wednesday night in particular, like I think it was the night before a big meeting the next day or a big visit, where I had to be there till like 11. So it was just like, fuck. So I've missed one Dynamite, but other than that, I've seen every Dynamite live, every Rampage. If like, yeah, I think every Rampage live. I mean, obviously the podcast keeps us honest anyway, but I don't think I've ever missed a Rampage. Maybe started a Rampage late, but not when it was on. But yeah.
No, yeah, I think the only thing I've ever missed is a Rampage, and I DVR everything anyway. Even though I watch it, it's still DVR'd in case I want to go back and watch it again. But I've always seen it later on with the DVR. So,
I mean, dude, I remember sitting there, and so disclaimer, I didn't catch the original All In show. I did not see that live. But I was there for the first AEW show. I was there for the press conference. I was intrigued, checked out the press conference, and I remember sitting there at that first Double or Nothing show in Vegas and just being like, I'm just like, it was funny. I was watching with my friend Chuck. We were sitting here watching it together. And I just remember that we had this joke where it's like, because it was Double or Nothing and All In. So I just remember I kept having things. I was like, I'm all in. I would like put my credit card down the table and push it forward while we're watching. And he would like grab his keys, put it in. I got up and grabbed like a stack of video games, slammed them on the table. I'm all in. I think I took my shirt off at one point. Like, I'm fucking all in on this. But yeah, man, I love it. It's fucking excellent stuff, man. It's just so good.
yeah, that's actually really funny.
That was just the joke because it was like, I'm all in. I'm all in. Like, and I got to a point where I think I told him, I was like, I can't go any more in. I have nothing left. Like, I'm all in.
That Double or Nothing show, that's where Moxley showed up and Paradigm shifted Kenny through the chips, right?
Yep, we got that match. That was the night we got Cody and Dustin, I believe. That was the night that we got Jericho and Hangman. That was the night. Oh no. Yeah, it was. That was the night we got Jericho and Hangman. Like, there were so many huge things that night. The Kook saying he is an OG Lucha Libre fan with EMLL, now CMLL, in the mid-70s. Their grandparents showed them the culture, religion, and tradition of Mexico, Lucha El Santo, Blue Demon, and Mil Mascaras, the three gods of Mexico. Oh, I've heard of Mil Mascaras.
Oh, damn.
Mil Mascaras. Wasn't that who trained Rey Mysterio? I'm asking the Kook. See if the Kook can back me up on this. I think Mil Mascaras trained Rey Mysterio. If I'm not,
we got to get the Kook in the Discord. It sounds like he's got some knowledge that he could drop on us, man. I like that.
I love learning about that type of stuff. So please, join the Discord if you're not already. Get in there, man. Would love to learn.
All right, so excellent episode of Rampage tonight. I thought this was a fantastic go home show. It was live, correct? Right?
Yep, tonight was live.
Yep, yeah, this was a live show. I got to start admitting it. You can always notice when they're live shows. They do stand out. They feel like there's more effort put into them. So I do got to start admitting that.
Yeah.
But next up, so what we are going to do is we are going to be doing our prediction show for the AEW Full Gear pay-per-view that we will be at tomorrow night. So there will be no post-show tonight right after the pay-per-view, but we will be doing one on Sunday. So watch out for that on Sunday. But Rome, are you ready for the predictions show, sir?
Absolutely. Would you mind writing the picks down since I'm going to be reading
I
off
will
the
do
matches?
so, absolutely. Hey, look at that. It's my last page of my notebook, so that's perfect.
Now, before we get into this, Jeff,
Bone to pick with you
All right.
because I warned you that this was going to happen.
I knew this was
Obviously, at the
coming.
last pay-per-view All Out, I had a bad night and I lost my world championship to Forrest, and we have not heard from Forrest since. Jeff, I think that you need to take accountability and responsibility for losing this podcast's title. I have no problem losing the title. Ray was trained by his uncle, Rey Mysterio Sr. in Mexico. Okay, then what? Mil Mascaras. What is that name? Is just ringing such a strong bell. Did
What's the Discord?
did Mil Mascaras train somebody like mentionable? Like, because that name is just like really
Yeah, it
screaming
does.
at me right now. If you could help me out, Coog, I would really appreciate that.
Thank you.
But-
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. So, but Jeff, anyway, back to my point. I think you just need to take accountability, and I think you need to take action here because we are currently having a pay-per-view where we are unable to have our championship on the line due to an inactive champion who has, taken the belt hostage. And again, I definitely lost the match. I'm going to take some ownership to that, but I think you booked the match, pal. And I think that's I think it's an indictment of your booking skills.
Well, I do have to admit that was a terrible decision on my part to re-sign Forrest. It was a bad booking decision on my part, bad booking by bad creative. But I think you might be happy to find out that he has been stripped of the title. And
What?
the title has been returned to the arena. I believe if you go look around, it should be in its traditional place waiting, and it should be on the line this weekend at Full Gear between you, myself, and Coach Nick.
Oh shit. Let's fucking go. All right. Back in it. Wow.
Coach, are you ready, sir? We are about to do the predictions, and I have your name written in to the slot. Are you ready? Rome, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Well, you have the matches. I will let you go ahead and get started, and I will write down the picks that we have.
I do, but however, I actually need there's something we need to do first. So Jeff, please take over for a second. I shall return.
Yes, please.
Yes.
The belt was returned to the arena into its proper holding place up on the mantle. I believe Rome is on his way through the arena, navigating the halls as we speak. Just remember the little time delay. Yes, so Coach, as soon as you start hearing us speak about the match, we will give ours to first, and then you can go ahead and give yours, so that way the time gap will be perfect there. And the belt has been returned to the Broken Tables Arena. Up for grabs this weekend at the Full Gear pay-per-view. It will be King Rome versus Jeffrey Vegas versus Coach Nick. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Rome, take it away.
All right. Well, this is a high stakes prediction show. The title is vacated, so there must be a winner. There must be a champion. All right. First up, the 0 Hour. Well, let's start with Eddie Kingston versus Jun Akiyama. It's not in my notes, but Tony Khan said it's happening, so we're gonna go with it's happening. So this is a dream match for Eddie Kingston. Jeff, who you taking in this?
I will take Eddie Kingston on this match. A dream match. Well, it does give me some doubt that he would want Akiyama to get a win over him, but I do think Eddie should go over here. I don't think we should have another one of the I don't want to use the word old, but it's tough not to. One of the older gentlemen from Japan. I don't think it'd be wise to have him beat Eddie, who I hope holds a major championship one day in the future.
Coach Nick also going Eddie. I am also taking Eddie Kingston here. I think that having Akiyama pick up the win tonight is is kind of their way of letting Eddie get the win tomorrow, which I think is just a really smart idea, really good idea on Tony Khan's part. The Coug thing, first match they ever saw as a kid was Jose Lothario and Mil Mascaras versus Gino Hernandez and Gran Marcus at the San Houston Coliseum in Houston. Damn, I'm old. LOL. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I actually recognize some of those names. I definitely Jose Lothario. That was the guy that like managed Shawn Michaels, I think, in '95, right when he won the title from Brett. Maybe I'm
Possibly.
wrong. That I don't know. That name definitely sounds accurate. Mil Mascaras is just gonna fucking bother me because I've heard that like there's something significant about that name. Coog saying he thinks Eddie takes the pin, or Eddie gets the win tomorrow as well.
June got the pin tonight. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't even take that into account. Yeah, that makes even more sense.
Right. All right. Next up, the World Title Eliminator Tournament semifinal, Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage. I'm going to go first. Obviously, I think this is Ricky Starks' tournament to win. Excuse me. Oh, boy. That's what I get for drinking Coke during the podcast. I was really feeling for a soda right before we went on the air. I'm going to go with Ricky Starks, I think I said. Yes.
All right. You're going to go with Starks for the Starks versus Cage match?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ricky Starks as well. They're telling a story here. He got totally beat up tonight. Yeah, absolutely going with Starks on the Cage match.
Right. Okay. So Lothario trained Michaels in San Antonio. Okay, good. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you for that.
All right, Coach. Coach has got Ricky Starks, of course. I don't even know why I had to wait for his answer there. All right, so all of us have taken Eddie, and all of us have taken Starks. So.
All right, next up, we have a 10-man tag, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about Danhausen. So, Orange Cassidy, Best Friends, Rocky Romero, and the title is Very Evil, Very Mysterious Partner, and it's Danhausen's silhouette, but it's like blanked out, like you don't know who it is, versus the Factory. And part of me really thinks, like, watch it be a swerve and it not be Danhausen. Like,
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. I don't know who it is. I don't really have a pick for who it is. But like part of me is just like this is too obvious that it's Danhausen. Like there's no watch it be like I don't know. No, I don't want to say
the way that the Factory was like, oh, it's obviously Danhausen, and they just walked away laughing. It's gonna be somebody else.
Yeah, like it has to be somebody else. Like there's no way it's Danhausen. Like I would say like 20% chance it's actually Danhausen.
All right, I'll go first on this one. I definitely got the Best Friends winning this match.
Yeah, same.
All right, so all three of us again. Coach also has the Best Friends. All right.
Okay. All right, next up, the World Trios Championship. Death Triangle defending the titles against the Elite.
Oh, this is a tough one.
This is actually a tough one.
Like a lot of people are thinking, they're like, Tony's just gonna hand the belts back to the Elite because they're coming back from being suspended, and I'm like, yeah, but yeah, no, I don't know.
Oh man, it's my turn to go first. Yeah, Coog. We love wrestling here, and like I love wrestling history and just learning about it. We all do here, so yeah, this is the place for you if you love wrestling in general and just history. Coach Nick's going with the Elite. Honestly, I think the Elite are going to win as well. I'm gonna pick the Elite. Jeff, make your pick, and then I'm gonna talk about why I'm so torn up about this.
Okay.
I mean, Jeff,
who I
you
want.
you could. So based off, keep in mind the predictions are kind of a game at the same time. You could make a safe bet here if you really don't feel very strongly. If you take the Elite, there's no loss or gain for you.
I know, but we've all predicted the same thing
Yeah, I
so
know.
far,
I know.
and
I
I'm
know.
really leaning towards Tony trying not to be predictable here. All right, I'm going to do the unpredictable thing as well. I'm actually going to go with Death Triangle.
Okay. So you're locked in on that. Here
So-
is why I really am torn about this. I think that it is the right thing to do, especially because it seems like Death Triangle is going to split up. I mean, at least I think they are. Um, I see the House of Black getting involved, but I don't know. I don't know when they get involved because I think the
Yeah.
Elite winning is the most sensical thing. And just having House of Black return, like I don't see where else on the card they return unless they're coming back for Sting and Darby. I mean, that could be what they do. But the question is, does House of Black challenge the Elite afterwards, or do they cost the Elite the match? And I think that's where I'm torn. So I'm gonna go with the Elite. I think that overthinking has what costed me last time.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to come at it with a very logical and sensible, grounded mindset, mind you. So I'm gonna go with the Elite.
Okay. All right, so Coach and Rome with the Elite, and me, I am breaking the trend and going with Death Triangle. So that is our first prediction that will not be, where a point will not be awarded to somebody.
Right.
And real quick with the Coug, so I'm glad to hear somebody who loves wrestling history actually enjoys AEW. Because there's a couple of historians out there like Jim Cornette, for example, who really hates on everything AEW is and is about. And I'm just glad to see that there's somebody who loves the history of wrestling who's not like hating on AEW. You know what I mean? So that's awesome.
Well, I think something that's really inadvertently cool about AEW is you can really tell who the fucking carnies are in wrestling now, because you got old guys that really support AEW. You got guys like Dustin Rhodes who are there and
Yeah.
who believe in it. You got guys like Billy who are there who believe in it. Jeff Jarrett's obviously there, and and then you get the Eric Bischoffs. You get the, like you said, Cornettes. Like the old carnies who don't understand, they just gotta go away. Like you can still appreciate the history.
Dude.
and move forward. Like you can have both. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
You know who really should? I hate like picking on certain people, but Disco, that guy is, dude. It's just like, bro, no one cares about anything that you're about to say. Not that anything cares about what I'm gonna say, but he thinks that people care about what he's saying. I don't. You know what I mean?
There are 3 people specifically who are like actually from the wrestling business who like their word means absolutely nothing to me at this point. One is Jim Cornette, 2 is Eric Bischoff, the 3rd is Disco Inferno. I'm just like, you guys are just chasing clout, which like I hate clout chasing. It's literally the absolute fucking worst thing. Like we sit here on the podcast, like you stick true to your morals. If you feel a certain way, feel that way. You know what I mean? Like we had Eric Bischoff showing up on Dynamite at least once a year for the first like 2 or 3 years of AEW. Like the dude's made like 3 or 4 appearances, and then all it took was like one little remark, and all of a sudden Bischoff realized, oh, I could chase clout and get there's a fan, like there's an audience that hates AEW because it's not WWE, and like we can lean into that and like make money off of that. Oh yeah, Nick. Yeah, I completely did forget. I tried.
I was surprised you didn't throw his name in there. I was like, whoa.
I honestly, I've forced myself to forget that he exists. So okay, I mean, we'll put Booker T on there.
Booker T's kind of doing his announcing thing now, so he's not saying as much dumb stuff, on the internet anymore.
He still is though. It's pretty bad.
He still is though.
The Kook says that they love vets like Dustin and Jericho and others who mentor the next generation. Exactly, man. Like that's so important. Giving back is what we are put on this earth for. Look, man, everybody's career should end with them on their backs. That's just the way it goes, man.
Yep.
That's just the facts. And completely agree with that.
Yeah, man, so far, so fast. That's a great way to put it, Coog. Like,
Yeah.
I remember thinking Booker T, I used to do the five time. And then all of a sudden, one day, he said, I don't remember what it was, but he said something, and I was like, what a douchebag. I was like, I didn't realize he was such a douche.
Just a complete dick. And then he's like
Yeah.
body shaming Adam Cole, saying
Yeah,
that
I
like
think
don't
that's what it
understand.
was. The Adam Cole thing really set me off. Yeah.
He's just talking poorly about like all the backstage issues. Like there hasn't been backstage issues in fucking WWE. Like I don't know, it's just dumb. I don't want to talk about Booker T. Let's move
No,
on.
yeah. Let's get back to our predictions here.
Yeah.
So we had just finished up the trios.
Yep.
What do you got next?
Next up, we have in a steel cage, Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus. My pick, I'm going with the Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I think that this is Jack putting Luchasaurus to bed once and for all, picking up the win, moving forward. I'm still anticipating. I can't say it, so I won't say it yet. But I think that moving Jack forward, I feel like I know what they're going to do with him next, possibly. So, maybe we'll see what happens.
All right. Yeah, I feel like they really need to give him a little bit of a push. They've kind of had him lose quite a bit. So I'm going to go with Jungle Boy as well.
And what's Coach's pick? In a steel cage.
Yeah, I love that spinneroonie, man. In WCW, I would like sit there waiting. I was like, where's the spinneroonie? Where is it? I waited for that like I waited for The Rock to do the people's elbow.
It's kind of funny to me. You would think that a guy who had his basically like the prime of his career like taken away from him via bad booking, like you would think that like he would kind of be aware, but he was just like, nah, Mr. McMahon, Mr. Levesque, sign those checks. I'll take them. I'm talking about Booker T.
All right, so all of us have chosen Jungle Boy Jack Perry. The Coog says he's got Jack Perry as well, but it's going to be a bloody match. Ooh, okay. I wasn't expecting any blood in this one, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Next up, we have the big boys. TNT Championship match. Samoa Joe versus Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
Big meaty men slapping man meat.
And Jeff, it's your pick.
All right, so Wardlow, Samoa Joe, and Hobbs. This could go so many ways. Now, this is for the TNT Championship, correct?
Yes.
All right, so I don't see Samoa Joe winning this match. Oh, this is a tough one. But this is a tough one because they haven't pushed Wardlow good enough yet with his belt. I feel like his run still needs a little bit more. But man, Powerhouse Hobbs really needs a belt right now. So I'm going to stick with Wardlow for now. I'm actually going to go with Wardlow. Looks like the coach is saying Powerhouse.
I'm picking Powerhouse Hobbs.
All right.
I think that having this as a three-way dance, clearly you're going to have Joe and Wardlow start feuding. I think Joe and Wardlow are going to feud for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. I don't know, man. I just think that having this as a three-way dance, it gives a perfect way for like something to go down where Hobbs picks up a win. Like I don't know, just something about that breaks a certain way where I could just see Joe doing something and like knocking out Wardlow or something like that, and Hobbs picking up the win. I don't know. It just, I feel like Team Taz is on, the former Team Taz. I feel like Tony Khan feels really strongly about all those guys, as do I. And I just think that each member is doing meaningful work right now. So I kind of agree with you. I think Wardlow, he's held the title since May. The TNT Championship, he had a hot and cold title reign. I mean, it wasn't a bad title reign. I think that the problem was he more so did a lot of non-title matches during his title reign, and I think that was the biggest thing about it. But I just think Hobbs, it makes a lot of sense. And if you're going to feud with Joe, you got to take one of the belts away. And I don't think they're taking the Ring of Honor television title away right now.
All right. You want to throw an extra point in here so we can guarantee a winner? And who do we believe is going to take the pin on this one?
Oh, man. See, I hate these because I always get these wrong. But I mean, if we have to, we have to. Hobbs.
Okay,
Hobbs.
so Coach Nick already said it. He's got Hobbs pinning Joe for the win. All right.
I have
So
Hobbs pinning Wardlow. I think that Joe will do something to cost Wardlow the match. So, like, I don't see Joe taking the pin right there.
oh, that actually makes sense. That's a great way to give Powerhouse Hobbs the belt. I like it.
Yeah, like I could see Joe putting like Wardlow to sleep with the Cohita clutch, or like Wardlow doing like a muscle buster, and then Hobbs comes in, spine busters Joe, and pins Wardlow. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Hobbs pinning Wardlow. Man, that's a tough one right there.
All right, so we all have it different here. So you have Powerhouse Hobbs pinning Wardlow. I have Wardlow pinning Joe. And then we got Coach with Powerhouse pinning Joe as well.
Okay.
All right. Add Tony Atlas to that Booker T list. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tony Atlas is a clown. I don't think he's as bad as Booker or the other three I mentioned, but he's pretty bad too.
Definitely not as loud. I don't hear his name as much.
All right. Next up, Britt Baker, DMD, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus the returning Saraya. It's my pick, I believe. I'm going with Saraya. I mean, if it's her first match back, I think you got to give her the win.
Wow. All right. I think because it's her first match back after a long time and after a bad injury, I don't think there should be any reason that Britt doesn't run over her, to be honest. So I got Britt Baker winning this one.
So, and what's Coach's pick?
Coach has not put it in there yet, but that would be very interesting for Saraya to come in, and pick up a win over Britt, man. That'd be.
See, I think that you also make a strong case. Like I understand that, like Saraya being out of the ring for so long. My counter argument to that is, man, it's pro wrestling. Like, you have someone come out of retirement or come back, first match back. I mean, you kind of want to give them the dub. Coach is going with Britt with Sasha costing Saraya the match. So here's my thing, man. Again, I said strap in about the women's division. I think we're seeing it. Like I don't want to get my hopes up. I really don't. But her making those trademarks for names and for them to be used in a wrestling capacity, man, that's pretty damning. Like if she's really trying to throw off her going back to WWE, I'm not gonna watch it, but like that's a damn thorough job to make people think you're not going back to WWE. I mean, like you're literally filing trademarks for other names. Like, I don't know, man. That's a lot. So I do think that I'm gonna say we see. I think Mercedes Monet or Mercedes Money will be her name in AEW if that's the name she goes with. No, I think it makes a lot of sense. She has history with Saraya. She was part of that women's revolution, and that's why I could also see Coach being correct that maybe she comes back to cost Britt. But I also would argue maybe Saraya gets the win, and post match Britt goes and starts beating her down, and that's how we see Mercedes. So yeah, the Coug saying, "Wait, Sasha? Wow!" Like yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's.
So give a little explanation on why we're saying that with the Sasha or the Mercedes Monet news.
I don't recall if I actually saved the pictures of it. Hold on, let me see real quick.
Well, I remember most of it. There's Mercedes Monet, Monet is money. A whole bunch of copyrights were taken out by someone for a wrestling personality and wrestling matches.
So it wasn't by someone. It was by her company.
Okay, it was by her company. Yes,
it was by her personal LLC. She filed trademarks for multiple names, like you said, Mercedes Money, or Monet, money to the bank, or like something like that. Like there was just a bunch of names that she filed a trademark for, and in the trademark listing it says that they will to be used in the capacity of professional wrestling, or entertainment.
A move called the Statement Maker.
Yeah, Statement Maker. Yeah, something like that. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just like if you're really trying to swerve the fans, is Survivor Series this Sunday?
It feels like it is, but I don't think so. I think it's next weekend, but I could be wrong. I literally don't watch it all.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. I think one way or another, if it is, you see her in one of these shows this weekend.
Yeah, that is his niece, I believe. Yep, Uncle Snoop.
Survivor Series is on November 26th, so it's next Saturday.
So I want to do something here because I want that to happen so much. I say if Sasha shows up and costs, who did he say? Saraya?
Yeah, Coach said that Sasha shows up and costs Saraya, so he's going to get a bonus point.
So
You're saying
if that happens, he gets an extra point.
I'm fine with that. I mean, because I also can we do what mine is as an extra point as well? If Saraya wins, post match, Britt attacks Saraya, and Sasha makes the save.
Okay, so you're saying Britt wins, or I'm sorry, go say one more time.
My pick is for Saraya to win the match.
Gotcha.
After the match, Britt attacks Saraya. Maybe Rebel and Britt attack Saraya, but you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
And then Sasha makes the save there.
Gotcha. All right. What do we got going next?
Okay. Next up, we have Sting and Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
It's your pick, Jeff.
This is my pick. All right. I am going with Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett.
Ooh, boy. Okay.
Damn, I don't have my cowboy hat down here. I left it upstairs. Damn it.
Jeff,
I bought a Jeff Jarrett black cowboy hat.
If you wear this cowboy hat to the show. Oh man, this is another really tough one because it's Jeff Jarrett's debut in AEW. But Sting and Darby have kind of been getting the crap kicked out of them by Jay Lethal and company. You're going with Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett.
I am.
I'm going Sting and Darby with Darby pinning Jay Lethal.
Sting and Darby pinning Jay Lethal?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Jay Lethal takes the pin no matter what. I don't feel super strong one way or the other about who's doing the pinning, but I think it's Sting and Darby win with Jay Lethal taking the pin.
Oh, don't you worry, Coach. I may be wearing a full black suit with the black cowboy hat, dude.
I didn't know you were such a Jeff Jarrett mark. My gosh. I love Jeff Jarrett.
J-E-double-F. J-A-R-R-E-double-T.
Jeff, you're just reciting that thing he did in 1992 when he had the roadie with him, the Road Dogg. That's where the Road Dogg got his name, because he was fucking Jeff Jarrett's roadie. And, oh my god, even that's a terrible WWE booking. Even back in 93 or 92, whatever it was fucking terrible. They had it where Jeff Jarrett was a singing icon. It turns out he was lip syncing, and the real singer was Road Dogg Jesse James. It's like, oh my god. Stupid.
All right, so Coach has Sting and Darby with Darby pinning Jeff. Okay. All right, Darby pinned Jeff.
The Cougar saying is Jeff Jarrett playing his guitar on anyone. Watch out for Karen Jarrett interference. Jay and Jeff win. Yeah, man. I'm so torn on this. I'm so torn because that's a great point. Like Jeff Jarrett with the guitar is such an that's the loaded gun in this situation. Like.
I have Jeff Jarrett pinning Sting. Jeff Jarrett, if anybody knows his weakness, it would be him. Wouldn't you think so? He's known him for the longest.
Okay. I mean, yeah, go with that. So
that's where I'm at. Yep. So. Oh. Dude, I wish they would let me bring a guitar. I would go to Walmart and buy like a crappy $20 guitar just if. Actually, at Five Below, they have a $10 guitar right now. I would go buy it right now if they would let me bring it in.
Fun fact.
It would be like gimmicks, too. It's cheap enough.
Coot says, fun fact, Jeff Jarrett is the biggest heel in AAA Mexico.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Coach saying, does Kurt Angle show up tomorrow? No, I don't think you're going to see Kurt Angle tomorrow.
All right. Kurt Angle. Oh, my God. I haven't heard that name in a minute. All right, what do we got next?
Next up is the TBS Championship. TBS champion Jade Cargill versus TBS champion Nyla Rose. It's your pick, Jeff. Oh wait, no, it's my pick. Jade, I think. Yeah.
Jade finally gets her belt back. Yeah.
Now, and then here's the funny thing, right? So this is spot number 2. I could see Sasha debuting. It's just because we talked about it. I mean, maybe we'll say Mercedes from now on. Mercedes, she could be the one. We've talked about who's going to beat Jade, and if they're not going to wait around for a year for Chris Statlander to come back, that's spot number 2. But anyways, Jeff, what's your pick? You picked Jade as well?
I'm also going to go with Jade, absolutely.
Okay. I'm sure Coach is probably, well, I'm not going to assume.
Yeah, I would be surprised if Coach didn't go with Jade here, but we'll give him a second. Jade for sure, with Sasha perhaps here. Okay.
Yeah, I just think Jade is the one to win it.
Yeah, I think it's a better idea to debut Sasha as part of the Britt Saraya thing, and then later on have her jump over there to take that from her. But
well, yeah, I mean, you got to
happen.
keep in mind Jade's getting up there. She's like 40 after Nyla. I think she'd be at 42 or 43. So like you're getting. I mean, I guess you have another 7 to go. You could do something in between. But okay, yeah. Carry on. Any other thoughts on that match?
No, I think we're all good on that one.
All right, this one's gonna be fucking wild. The Ring of Honor World Championship 4-way dance. Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho, Claudio Castagnoli, and Sammy Guevara. Jeff, go ahead.
All right. I think some crazy shenanigans are going to go on, and Sammy Guevara is going to wind up winning the Ring of Honor Championship. And I think I'll just leave it at that for now.
Okay. So I'm torn between 2. There's 2 in this match that I feel very strongly for, and I think I know the main event of Final Battle. Okay? So
Okay.
I think that the winner is what Coach is saying Sammy wins. Okay, good. Oh fuck, man. I wish Coach had kind of picked one that I thought was going to win, so that way I would just go with the other one. Ugh. So since your picks are locked in, I'm going to share my mindset. I think it's either Jericho or Danielson.
Okay.
My reasons for both. I think that Jericho and Sammy have done this before. Like they're gonna make it seem like they're not on the same page. Like, okay, here's what's gonna happen, right? Sammy's gonna be in the match, and you're gonna have Sammy up all. He's gonna have some. If Jericho wins, Sammy's gonna have somebody on his shoulders, and Sammy's gonna do the go to hell, the GTH, and you think like, oh my god, Sammy's gonna win the title, and then like all of a sudden he's gonna be like, no, I'm good, and Jericho will come in and pick up the pin. Like if Jericho wins, I feel like that's probably how it's gonna happen. And they'll be like, "You idiots, we're best friends. We've never fought. What do you think this is? WWE, where like everybody has to break up?" Like
that would be really funny if they did say something like that.
Yeah, like they've done this before. They've teased this breakup with Sammy and Jericho before. Sammy and Chris Jericho have never been at odds in the entire history of AEW. So for me to kind of just straight out say that like Sammy's gonna, especially as a heel, when people like. Tony Khan's got to read the room. I'm glad you guys both picked Sammy because I think you guys wasted your pick here. Because like the heat that Sammy Guevara is getting right now, like you can't have him with the Ring of Honor title. I just don't think that really makes a lot of sense or works. Obviously, Sammy is talented enough to do it, but I mean, you're still trying to get that Ring of Honor TV deal. I think you want to mainline that main event, that Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I think that the main event of that pay-per-view is Danielson and Jericho, the last match. I think that that's their last match, and that's why I'm picking Chris Jericho. I just decided in my brain we're gonna have Chris Jericho win this match after Sammy Guevara shenanigans, and the main event of Final Battle will be Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson, the last match for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Bryan Danielson fucking bleeds Ring of Honor. What better way to usher in the new Ring of Honor television deal in 2023 with Bryan Danielson as your champion? That's my fucking pick.
Damn, dude, we're fucked, Nick. I hope we got to be a couple points ahead of him by the time we get to this match, bro.
I'm on fire right now. I'm fucking heated up. That's man. If all of that goes down,
Yeah, that
Oh
was
my
nice.
God.
That was pretty nice. I got to give you that one.
Book it.
All
Tony
right.
Khan, call me. Give me a paycheck.
All right,
Please,
what we
I
got
need a job.
next?
I need a job. Please, Tony Khan, call me. AEW Interim Women's World Championship. Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter. Jeff, is it your pick? No, it's my
I
pick.
don't care. I'll go first. Doesn't
No,
matter.
no, it's my pick. I like doing the alternate picks.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's fair. It evens the playing field. Boy, this is another really toss-up one because Coach said you sent us to the grave with that speech. My goodness, that was excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
I've already chalked that point up to a loss.
Hey, you never know. I've been on that before, and I've been wrong. Coach is picking Jamie Hayter. Oh, man, I wish I knew how far out Thunder Rosa was. And I know that she said, like, oh, I don't know how far out I am. Like, I feel like her saying that could be a swerve. Because if Thunder is going to be back soon, I want to pick Tony. But Jamie's so over. It's really hard to not go with Jamie Hayter here. I'm going to go with Jamie Hayter. I feel pretty good about that. I think Tony knows how to read a room, and we saw that with the Acclaimed amongst others. I'm going to go with Jamie Hayter.
All right, so I am going to go with Jamie Hayter as well.
Okay.
But earlier on, you guys both had a chance for one extra point, and I didn't throw mine in there. I'm gonna go for an extra point on this one.
Sure.
I am going to say that they are going to announce that this is no longer an interim belt, and this will be for the AEW Women's Championship.
I don't know if that's big enough for a point, Jeff, because I think that's going to happen too. That's kind of a given. I feel like at this point, especially with everything Tony's been saying. Tony Khan said, like, I've been trying to give Thunder Rosa the opportunity to come back. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's point worthy. I'll leave
I'm
it
okay
up.
with it if you think it's too much of a give. Then I didn't think it was that much of. I thought I was reaching.
I mean, do you have anything more to? I don't think it's a reach at all. I think that's coming up very, like, I don't know if it's definitely happening, but I think it's coming up pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that before the match, like, the Dapper Yapper is gonna say this match is for the AEW Women's Championship. Thunder Rosa has been stripped.
I'll tell you what. Coach Nick and Chat, the Coog, and Reality Creator, let's put this to a vote. There's 3 of you, so we should be able to get a vote going here. Now, do you think that Jeff's pick is a bold enough pick? It has to. The whole point of that extra point is that it has to be a bold prediction. Do you think that it's a bold prediction and should count as a possible point for Jeff? Yes or no? And if no, Jeff, you can have a chance to add to it if you want, and we'll discuss it.
Yeah, no worries.
So let's see what's happening. So Coach Nick saying he sees it happening too, Jeff. Wouldn't mind Jeff giving the point for a fair chance for another point, unless you have another chance at a point, Jeff. This is not my show, so not up to me. So Coach is saying that if you do this here, you're not going to get a chance at another bonus point. So I think that's a fair way to put it.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get votes from the Cougar Reality. So Coach is saying that he's okay with it. So that's 1 vote for it counting. And I'm okay either way with it. I don't know if I think it's that strong of a, like, I think like Sasha in AEW is a legit 50-50 coin toss. I think that's a bold prediction.
Yeah.
Whereas like, if you ask me the percentage of this, I would say like 70-30. Like, I don't think it's like super or 60-40 seems more possible. We'll give.
All right. Well, let's keep going. If I see a different opportunity for the extra point, I'll take it. But if not, we'll go back to that.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right.
Next up, we have the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Acclaim defending against Swerve in Our Glory. The Coug agrees with Coach. So, okay.
Cool.
So that would be the vote. So, Jeff, you can count that as your point if you want, but you don't have any other points to make, like bonus.
No worries.
Okay.
All right.
So this is your pick.
All right. So I might shock some people with this one, but I am going to be going with Swerve in Our Glory. I think we're all going to be surprised to see Keith Lee join Sneaky Swerve in becoming a full-blown heel, and they're going to get their belts back.
See, I've also thought about that a lot, and seriously, like a lot. But like, I don't think I see them taking the belts off the Acclaimed right now. I don't know if I see that.
The only thing I could say is they are so over, they don't need the belts. That's all I could say.
But I would argue that's why you keep the belts on them for a little while. Like, you want them to elevate those belts. Again, it's not the belt that makes the man, it's the man, or in this case, the men that make the belt. Like Darby Allin, like the way he made the TNT Championship when he was like, "That's what I need that." So I would say, like, I get your point that the Acclaimed are so over they don't need it. But I do think that's a toss up. I could see the swerve here, pun intended, where we do see Keith actually turn heel, and align with Swerve Strickland. I do see that happening. However, I don't think that they want to hot potato the tag belts right now. I'm gonna go with the Acclaimed, but it's like, I mean, it's Anthony Bowen's hometown as well, so he's from Newark.
It is?
So,
oh, okay.
He is. So I'm gonna go with the Acclaimed here. I don't think you put out a video like you did last week that was just fucking incredible and not. But we need Coach Nick went with the Acclaimed. He said, "What a."
I like what Kook says too. The Acclaimed take it. Swerve attacks Keith Lee for at the end there. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. That's my other point is that, like, I do really think that we get Swerve versus Keith Lee as a feud, and I think it makes sense to do it now. I think that both of those guys are extremely talented. There's nothing wrong with being in AEW. Tag team wrestling is just as strong as singles competitors, But like, man, Swerve Strickland is like positioning himself as like a top heel in the company. That man should be in high profile singles feuds.
Yeah.
Which is like, again, Jeff, like, I don't think it's like a super crazy pick you're taking here, but I am gonna go with the Acclaimed. Ethan
Dochik made a good point there. I actually kind of agree with what he's saying. We don't need a fourth match between these guys, so it does make sense to leave it on them. But my pick is already locked in. Damn it!
That's all right.
Good point, Ethan. Good point.
It gives me some leeway to work with some of the other matches that I really don't feel super good about. Excuse me. Yeah, but I agree with Ethan. I think that let the Acclaimed elevate your titles. Like, they are the most over thing in your company, bar none. I mean, Jeff, do you think is there anybody more over than the Acclaimed
in the tag division?
No, I'm saying in the company. I mean, like, yeah, you have like MJF is over, obviously, as fuck. Like, there are a few other guys who are that top level, but
very few. Like, very few. MJF and the Elite. That's pretty much all. And Mox.
Yeah, and the Acclaimed, right? Yeah. Captain Insano on Dynamite was a flashback to the 90s. It was so cool.
Amazing.
I'm not even a fan of Adam Sessler. I mean, don't destroy me for that. Like, I'm not a big fan of his movies, but like,
Adam Sandler.
I loved it. I loved Captain Insano. I think I've shared that in the Discord like 7 times. So here's a little bit of forward booking. I think that the Acclaimed are going to be defending their titles next against FTR, and I think they're going to beat FTR.
Okay, you think they're going to beat FTR?
I think that the Acclaimed are on a roll right now, and like, obviously FTR have had it's like nuclear hot, not heat wise, but nuclear hot year. However, I just think at this point with the Acclaimed, they're so over. You need to start giving them, keep giving them high profile wins to justify and elevate that being overness. So I do think that that's the play. I think that you're going to see the Acclaimed beat Swerve in Our Glory, and then you're going to see them probably at Winter is Coming defend the titles against FTR. And I think they put over the Acclaimed. And then meanwhile, Jeff will be sitting in the corner like, it's because the Young Bucks hate them so much. I can't believe this. Oh my
god. So those scissor foam fingers, it's a funny story. Here in Philly, when we were doing the meet and greet for the Acclaimed, we actually did meet them. We got the photos and stuff somewhere. So we were asking, where's the foam fingers? Yeah, there you go. We were asking, where are the foam fingers? And the lady who's in charge of the merchandise, she's like, they're coming, okay? They're coming. No, and sure enough, Bowens. Like 2 weeks later, they showed up.
I think Bowen said that. Bowen said
Yeah, Bowens is like, we got them coming.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the football jersey. I didn't get the basketball jersey because it's just not basketball jerseys don't really fit me
Yeah,
very
I'm not a
well. They're not
basketball
very
jersey guy.
good for my figure, let's say. I'm kind of a fat ass. But football jerseys, fucks with football jerseys. I really want
Yeah.
the football jersey.
A football jersey or a baseball jersey would be
The
amazing for
baseball
the
ones, all,
acclaimed.
like that's the crazy. They have all these jerseys for the acclaimed, and they just haven't sold them. Like they
Dude,
sold.
could you imagine a baseball jersey with the acclaimed like written in cursive, like almost like oh, dude.
Want that?
Yes.
But okay. So are all the picks in for that?
Yep, everybody's in. You got the acclaimed, I got Swerve in Our Glory, and Coach has the acclaimed as well.
Ethan saying
Real quick, let's go to chat. Ethan says his dream AEW tag match is FTR versus the North versus Omega and Hangman versus MCMG. Oh,
My
Jesus.
God.
That sounds insane.
I would throw the Bucks in there.
That's Motor City Machine Guns, right? Yeah, I would replace the Motor City Machine Guns with the Bucks, just in my personal tastes. Whew, that'd be fucking awesome.
I would also, not that I don't want to see Kenny Omega in a ladder match, I would switch Omega with Bandito. I would do FTR versus Bandito and Hangman versus the Young Bucks in a ladder match.
Oh, Bandito's like my weakness right now. That dude is amazing.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Next match, and I think this is the last one. Hold on. Yes, this is the last one. The main event, the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Jon Moxley defending his title against Maxwell Jacob Friedman. It's my pick.
It is your pick.
So, I think history is about to be made. I think Maxwell Jacob Friedman will be the AEW World Heavyweight Championship champion. I think there is room for a swerve here. I do think that with Mox winning. I think there's like a slight chance of that because it's Mox. Coach is picking Mox, so there you go.
All right. Oh, Coach picking Mox. Okay.
I see that though, because again, it's Jon Moxley, and I could totally see it happening where maybe they don't want to do it yet. However, I gotta go with MJF. I think that, again, apart from the acclaimed, there is nobody in pro wrestling who's doing this work on a consistent level week in and week out. I think, yeah, I just think it's time. And now, obviously, I think there's a lot of ways that this can go. I don't think MJF wins clean. I do think that he cheats to win. I don't know if I want to make points out of it because I think there's a lot of possibilities. I could see Regal turning on Mox. I could see the Firm turning on, or not turning on Mox, but the Firm being like, "We were planning this all along. You dork. We tricked you." Because again, MJF has said it multiple times. I am a huge. We talk about this very often on the show here, where I am a huge promo guy, and when a good wrestler who's very good at promos, almost all of their words mean something. And the fact that MJF repeated it, and he said it last on Wednesday, 2 days ago on Wednesday, and MJF said the greatest trick the devil ever pulled. And I realize Jeff hasn't made his pick yet. That's fine. It is what it is. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing people that he does not exist. And MJF has been touted as basically a babyface, a hybrid. You know what I mean? Like he said it. Like he's like, people are gonna cheer or boo however they want. That's John Cena, Steve Austin level shit. Like, you know, like a lot of backstage stuff about how people want MJF to be a babyface. I think that it's just a lot of smoke and mirrors. I think at the end of the day, you're gonna see MJF talk about, oh, I'm gonna beat you 100%. It's MJF. He's going to cheat. He's going to do something dirty. He's going to use some sort of trickery. Because another little thing is Wardlow did an interview where he said, I don't think, he's like, I think if Max wins, Max is going to cheat. I know Max better than anybody. He's not going to not cheat. So you got Wardlow saying that in interviews too. Like, again, you're just sprinkling the seeds for MJF to pull off probably the biggest heel win maybe ever.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make my pick here. I am also going to go with MJF.
Yeah.
And I mean, it seems like it might be too obvious. I don't know, but I have Regal turning on Mox and helping MJF here, handing him the golden,
I think
the
that
golden
that's
knucks.
totally believable. Totally believable.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it, but they're gonna do something. Maybe it's Regal, maybe it's the firm, maybe it's just MJF cheating. I don't know, but it's not gonna be a clean win. But yeah.
All right. So I think that is it. We've got all of our predictions in. Let's do our traditional how many tables will be broken.
You can go first.
I think I'll take the first stab at this one. I think we're going to see a total of 3 tables broken tomorrow night.
See, my problem is I look over this card and I don't see a lot of opportunities for it to happen.
Just the Sting and Darby match. I think we're going to see at least 3 in that match by itself.
it's not a no DQ match. That's my thing. So it's like,
oh, you're right.
And the only no DQ match on the card. Well, I mean, the 3-way and 4-way dances can count as no DQ. So like they are no DQ. So there is some leeway there. I get that. Coach is saying 6.
We've seen 7 before.
We have seen 7 before. I'm gonna go with 2. I'm gonna go with 2.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna Price is Right you a little bit there.
No worries.
Because in this type of thing, the timekeepers table probably is a definite gone. Like that's a definite.
Yeah.
So that's 1. I think that's a gimme almost. Maybe Sammy busts out a table during the 4-way. But that's it. I don't see the beefy boys bringing out the tables. The trios match, but again, that's not a no DQ match. See, that's my thing. There's a lot of matches in terms of the names on paper where it could happen. I mean, we've made some crazy table picks in the past year, Jeff. We've picked 8, 9, 10 and gotten the points for it. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. I just don't know with the match rules where you do it outside of 2. So yeah, I'm gonna go 2.
Okay. Coog says he's got 5 tops. I'm going to write that down just so we can give you an honorable mention if you nail it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So there it is. That is our picks for tomorrow night. Remember, we will be there. So you can, pay attention to the channel because I will be uploading some shorts from inside the arena. Probably a couple of quick few minutes here and there from some matches so you guys can see some cool stuff from where we're sitting. But other than that, we will not have the show tomorrow night. We will be doing that sometime on Sunday. We'll decide what time, probably tomorrow. We'll see. We'll let you guys know. Anything else you wanted to add for tonight there, Rome?
Yeah, I would say it would probably be Sunday night. I mean, the Eagles play at 1, so I kind of would like to do it Sunday night. I think 8 o'clock's a good time. I don't know how you feel about that, but I think that's a good time.
We might have to talk because I have something going on around 7:30. So maybe if we can do in between there after the Eagles game, that might be perfect.
Okay. I mean, if you want, we could do it later than 8.
Yeah, we'll see. Let me see what my definite time is, and then we'll figure that part out.
Okay. But no, I mean, other than that, I'm really excited to go to my first wrestling pay-per-view. I'm very excited to go to, again, not just AEW pay-per-view. In the 2 decades I was a WWE fan, never went to a WWE pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, me neither.
So very excited for that. That's going to be fucking crazy. You've been to Forbidden Door. That was your first pay-per-view.
Coog, why would you bring up such devastating things that happened tonight, sir? That was
crazy.
Devastated when Aubrey was brutally assaulted by Athena. How dare she? She had no right to lay her hands on Aubrey.
Yeah, that was wild, man. I don't know if you were here for that, Coog. I think you were, but I stood up and I was like, holy shit.
We've
freaked out. I couldn't believe it.
I said, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that was the first time Aubrey has ever gotten physical, so I was absolutely shocked. But as that should be the end of tonight, go ahead and close us out, sir.
All right. Well, this has been episode 91 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like and a subscribe. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us tonight live on our YouTube exclusive Rampage review. Coog asking, are you guys Eagles fans? He's a Cowboys fan in exile until Jerry Jones and his family are ousted. Yes, Coog. I will keep it respectful. Philly born and bred. Jeff is not from here. I specifically am an Eagles diehard. I don't know if you can.
Yep.
Born and raised here in Philly. I fucking hate the Dallas Cowboys with my very existence. The best part about the loss to Washington is at least it wasn't to Dallas.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'm an Eagles fan. But we're gonna, we'll keep it cool here. Don't worry. It's not gonna be like shitting on you if if you're in the chat talking. Anyways, back to what I was saying. This is the YouTube exclusive Rampage review. We will be live Sunday, most likely night, possibly afternoon, talking about our experiences tomorrow at Full Gear. Super excited for Full Gear. Make sure you order the pay-per-view. It's going to be fucking historic, I think, especially with MJF. Also, just going to plug it, Monday nights at around 9 o'clock Eastern, the Game Room Podcast. It is our video game podcast. Just a reminder, we are going to be reviewing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 on Monday, and we're also going to be going over the Game Award nominees. Jeff, I already voted on those. Maybe you'll live vote yourself because you can click on the link.
Yeah.
And vote. But I'll tell you who I voted for. I realized after I voted I should have saved it for the show, but it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, it's a passion project of mine. Please check us out on Monday nights at 9 o'clock. Even if you're not super into video games, maybe you'll learn some stuff. Like I said, you can follow us on our social medias down below. We will be back here Sunday and then Monday and then the following Wednesday for Dynamite review. We hope to see everybody Sunday night. Enjoy Full Gear. Let's fucking go. See you guys.
Absolutely. And thanks to some of the new guys in chat here. Reality. We had the Coog. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight. And Ethan Dochik. Thank you guys very much. But until next time, top guys out.